Well, good afternoon, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk here. It's the 25th of February, Saturday evening here. We're live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Had a lot of snow here this past week. Third snowiest week of winter, but put a minor dent in the season to date snowfall totals here through to tonight. 6% more than last year, 14% below average, so still 12th least in 38 years. So just a hair above last year, and again, still well below average. Not so if you live in the Rockies or the Upper Plains or far New England, Buffalo, Maine, still above average, but the rest of us in the East Coast, well below average. We thought this week had a chance to eclipse the snowiest week of winter, which has been mid-December, there, week ending 17 December. That was the snowiest week of winter. This week did not do it. Third snowiest week, but not number one. So we have 3 more snowy weeks here. Not sure we're going to break that mid-December record here. So that'd be unusual to have December be the snowiest week of the entire winter season for the U.S. So we'll see here. We have 3 more weeks to maybe trump that snowy week. Looking at this past snowstorm here, again, went from the Rockies through the Upper Plains, Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP, and Michigan, all about 12 to 18 inches plus, closer to just south of a foot up in New England. So again, missed the big cities again, but a snowy week again for sure. If we look at this last week on a world summer here ending tonight, here in the U.S., 6.1 warmer than last year, 10th warmest in 38 years, so above average week for temperature front. Drier, 15% drier than a year ago, 18th driest in the pack of 38 years, so about average. And snowfall, obviously, way up, 45% more than last year, most in 12 years, 6th most in 38 years, so well above average snowfall week. Up in Canada, frigid, coldest in 9 years, 3rd coldest in 38 years. Hot spots would be toward China. Another hot spot would be there in India, which was 4th warmest in 38 years. Maps inset left are the trends versus average. Obviously, with that big ridge of high pressure, typical La Nina keeping the southeast warm this winter, which is, again, classic La Nina pattern that we're in, everything is greening up way too early. So we've got a lot of grass and flowers and trees sprouting and budding and fruit trees in the Carolinas and probably cherry blossoms in D.C. not too far away. This is too early. There's definitely a good chance of frost and freezes, and those can wipe out fruit trees and cherry blossoms in D.C. So, again, a little concern about this coming out a little too early for sure. Part of the problem here now is just the polar vortex went from symmetrical to sheared apart here. As it shears apart, that just means there's a weak jet stream and the Arctic air is on the move. It will go in all different directions. Chunks of it headed our way for sure. So again, a weak polar vortex typically weakens, but not this quickly. So this is good news if you like cold and snow, because it certainly leads to a cold, snowy potential March. Talk about that in a second here. So this week, getting the last couple days of February into 4 March, just a hair cooler than last year, 9th warmest in 38 years, so above average national temperatures. Real hot spots, obviously, there in the southeast continuing, so stuff's going to grow like crazy again this week after near 80s and over 80s in the southeast last week. Precip way up, 234% wetter than a year ago, wettest in 15 years, 2nd wettest in 38 years, so much above average there. So drought buster for sure, plains, west, everywhere. So the 85% drought coverage that we had back on November 1st is evaporating quickly. Snowfall way up, 553% more than last year. Another system's heading across the northern tier, New England. We'll see if it's a number 1 snowiest, so it's going to certainly be a snowy week. So number 1 snowiest in 38 years. This is the 6-day outlook here again. So it's Monday, Tuesday, another system going through the Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, New England areas. This may get a little further south, just west of New York City, maybe just near 360's headquarters here in eastern PA. Poconos for sure, getting some snow. So we'll see. Close call, but and a couple other systems here over the next couple weeks. Snowfall for this period is up 106% more than a year ago, 17% above average, most in 4 years, 15 most in 38 years. So a snowy week here to kick off March. Looking at the second week of March here, it started the severe weather awareness week across the country here. And again, we'll definitely be concerned about these things, tornadoes for sure, and severe weather. Here in the U.S., 1.9 warmer than last year, but that's misleading because last year was frigid this week. Still 8th coldest in 38 years, so well below average national temperatures. Little misleading here. The polar vortex struggling here with probably a little more widespread cool here, but cool East Coast and for sure cool out there in the Rockies Plains. Rainfall, again, a little bit drier than last year, 17th wettest in 38 years, so more average. Snowfall, we'll see, most in 24 years, much above average. Again, so more snow in the plains, upper Midwest, where they probably don't want any more in New England. We'll see if one of these storms can phase. There's certainly cold air around, and it's just going to be the right time. Again, it's a very volatile pattern. We're going to go from these 70s on a Wednesday, 60s, 70s on a Wednesday here in our area, and then it plummets again just like it did this week. So if we can phase one of these storms just right, there's a chance, at least with the colder storm air pattern, for East Coast snow-deprived folks. World 2-week outlook, again, a little misleading because we've got a cold week, a warm week and a cold week blended in here. Net, southeast is still the hot spot. Cold spots west, plains, upper Rockies. Again, but this will be a little bit cooling toward week 2 of this period. Really hot there across the Midwest. The Middle East, India, China. Very, very warm. Still cool there in Europe and Southwest Russia. Preset map is inset left. If we just look at these national real quick trends here of day by day, the bars show the trends, how it's been trending versus last year, and the red line and blue line are just actual high-low temperatures on a national scale. Plummeted, obviously, there around Christmas time, some of the coldest weather in history around that period. Very warm January, up and down February, but mostly a mild February, ending kind of cold here. And then you see here for March, again, we have a colder pattern. So we're saying the coldest snowiest in 4 years nationally. So we'll see. Definitely probably not as warm as we saw in January and February. So we'll see if winter goes out with a bang here in March. So that, folks, we hope you have a great week. We will be back here again this time next week.